Hey everyone, so today I'm here to talk about a ton of different things that went on during the month of January. Rolo milkshake. Yes, I've always loved Rolo in my ice cream or Rolo in general, but I'd never actually added it to a milkshake. It was wonderful. The second thing that I ended up coming to realizing that I like, and that is I like having ketchup on my bacon. I never had done it before, and I'm not the biggest fan of bacon, but I have come to realize that the sweetness of the ketchup and the saltiness of the bacon, when you put it together, is just wonderful. The next thing that I want to talk about is candles, and I'm a huge fan of candles. I don't always have them on hand, but I ended up finding this one right here. It's so nice. Now this is the Limoncello Bath and Body Works candle, and if you guys are more of a fruity flavor, fruity scent kind of person, then this candle is right up your alley. It's got such a fresh citrus lemon smell to it that I instantly just relax when it's lit, and I'm thoroughly happy. This is the 3-wick candle, and this is actually really good. I can already actually smell it. The other thing is, it took me forever to actually buy new candles because mine within the first few uses would either stop smelling or, you know, you get all that dust and dirt and gunk and you no longer want to light it because, let's be honest, burning dust smells disgusting. But Bath and Body Works actually has this metal tin ring, but this is definitely one that I absolutely love, and I think I will always buy if it's available. The next thing I want to talk about is a blog. Now, I don't read a lot of blogs, and I don't talk about a lot of blogs, but this one is a travel blog that I've been reading for well over a year. You know, every now and then. It's not like I read it every single time an article comes out, but it's called The Blonde Abroad, and it's by a girl named Kirsten Rich, and she ended up quitting her job in her 20s and started traveling around the world professionally. Her articles that she writes, as well as the photography that she takes, are beautiful and so well crafted that it just makes me instantly aspire to it. But I also in January recently found that she had a YouTube channel, and I love it. It's so beautiful. Her videography makes you feel like you're there with whatever she has posted. And not only that, but I find that she actually makes me more excited about the idea of traveling to certain places. And I smile through the videos. They're just so well put together and shot. And honestly, you know, we love watching videos that make us happy, right? Sometimes we watch those videos that make us sad or upset, but in general, we like watching things that make us happy, and that is what her YouTube channel videos are. I started an ASL course, and for years, probably since I was 13, so that's well over 10 years ago, I initially looked at taking the ASL course. And unfortunately, you have to be 16 to take it. I'm now 24, and I finally stopped saying one day, and I started saying today, and I started taking it. And in the month of January, I started with learning how to fingerspell, and I'm actually able to communicate in small sentences. It's really amazing. The next thing is, earlier in the month, I ended up going out with a friend for dinner. I actually took her out for her birthday, and it was so nice. I hadn't seen her in about a year, and I hadn't done anything with a friend in almost 2 months. Like, I hadn't gotten together with a friend. And it made me realize that I really need to stay in touch with my friends, not just through text, but in person, because those are things that, you know, they get better with age. Your friendships get better with age. And, you know, spending time with friends, I think, is a very healthy thing, and I definitely want to start doing it more. I also got the 3rd of my 4 flights booked for my trip, so I only have 1 flight left to book. I actually was in the 90-day mark at some point in January. 90 days. I hit the 90-day mark till my trip. The final thing is with regards to my dad. He turned 66 this month, and we were actually, all of us, able to celebrate his birthday with him, which was really nice, especially because of everything that happened in December with him health-wise. And talking about health-wise, he went for his 6 or 8 week checkup, and everything from the subdural hematoma came back positive. He's looking good. They don't have to go back in for surgery at this point in time. They just want to continue to monitor it. But it's so nice to hear these positive things with regards to it. It was just really nice, and definitely one of those moments where you could take a deep breath. The one book that I finished is The Boy Who Sneaks in My Bedroom Window by Kirsty Mosley. This one was a dud for me. I was not impressed at all. The story is about a girl and her brother who are physically and, for her, sexually being abused by their father. And that's kind of the beginning of the story, but later on the father's not in the picture anymore and they're kind of living their life. But the boy next door has been sneaking in since she was about 6 or 7 and sleeping in her bed, holding her so that she doesn't have nightmares or cry because she is traumatized from the abuse. And unfortunately for me, there were a lot of points where the story was fleshed out for very insignificant details that didn't really matter to the story, and parts that were actually important to the story maybe had a page worth of stuff going on and then never touched on again. So it was a dud for me, but you know what? I don't have to like every book I read, and there's definitely somebody else out there who will love this book. The next book that I was in the midst of reading is Figment by Cameron Jace, and you can tell into February I've actually been reading along in this. I'm really close to the end, but I got about halfway through this book in January, and I'm okay with that. So another thing that I did a lot of was watching movies and TV shows, and some of the movies that I watched that I actually own are The Scarlet Pimpernel. This has Anthony Andrews and Jane Seymour in it, and I absolutely love this movie. If you guys are fans of the novel The Scarlet Pimpernel, then you may want to try watching this one. Yes, Anthony Andrews will always be the Scarlet Pimpernel in my eyes. The other one that I watched was Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason, and this one has Renee Zellweger, Hugh Grant, and Colin Firth. This one is the sequel to Bridget Jones. This one kind of wasn't as enjoyable as it was the first time I watched it. It is kind of a modern retake on Pride and Prejudice, but what I do have to say about this film is definitely the musical score is so on point. I absolutely loved it. One movie that I watched though on Netflix was Jupiter Ascending, and this one was actually a better viewing the second time I saw it than the first time I saw it, because the first time I was kind of meh with it, but this time when I watched it, oh my word, I loved the story. Like, there's so much going on in it. There's a lot of political intrigue going on between like the selling of this like thing that they're harvesting. I'm not going to say anything more in case you haven't seen it, but this is a wonderful movie. I absolutely loved it, and, you know, I probably will be watching it again some point in time. I also have a couple of Asian dramas that I'm watching on Netflix. I cannot tell you how excited I am that Netflix now has foreign movies and dramas available. I am so happy that they are totally diversifying the content that they're releasing, specifically to the countries that they're releasing it to. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Miss and Kiss, and I started watching this the first week that it was airing on Netflix. They're releasing 3 episodes a week, and it is wonderful. I'm going to be really upset when the beginning of March comes, because the beginning of March, there's only like 1 week left of episodes, and it doesn't matter that I know how this is going to end, because I've watched this storyline in every single remake that has been put out for the series. I don't care. I get so happy watching this series, and it is my series. Like, if I tell somebody go and watch this, this is definitely on the top of the list. But Miss and Kiss is wonderful. If you haven't started watching it, try watching it. You don't know what you're getting into, but just imagine if you start liking it. I've had to wait every single week for the next 3 episodes to be released. Think about the patience you have to have for that. The second one that I'm currently watching is called Murphy's Law of Love, and this is one that I've been watching for a while, but I really like it, and it kind of falls in my age range. It's about late 20s, early 30s, romantic interests abound, and there's also the professional aspect of it with their work and kind of the conflicts and, you know, typical Asian drama stuff, and I'm so happy with it. Now moving on to some regular series, and when I say that, I mean English-speaking series, the first of which is a series of unfortunate events, and I'm slowly making my way through this series because I'm going to be really upset when I have watched all of the ones released thus far, and I'm going to have to wait until new ones are released, which who knows when that might actually happen. I'm also rewatching the first 3 seasons of Sherlock because season 4 was released this month, but I don't actually have cable, so I have to wait for them to go live on Netflix, which right now I think I'm in season 2 of rewatching because Mom and I usually rewatch all of the current seasons before we watch the new one. Also, I started rewatching That 70s Show because I remember Saturday mornings I would watch cartoons, and then Saturday afternoons would have a 6-hour marathon of That 70s Show. That was my childhood. Saturdays were definitely dedicated to cartoons and That 70s Show, and I think anybody in their 20s that watched That 70s Show, like, this is just going to be our cult classic for any 90 baby. You knew of or watched some of That 70s Show. And the first episode of Riverdale got released, and I'm so excited because I was really nervous that I wasn't going to like this series. Nope. I really like it, so I'm going to be continuing on with it. If you guys are interested, I did an episode talk over the first episode that's been released, so if you guys would like to see that, I will link that episode talk in the description box below. But I really enjoy Riverdale. I'm excited to see where they're gonna go, and it's kind of sad that I know I only have 12 more episodes to watch. The next section is YouTube original series. I actually released a video over a number of the ones that I was watching a couple years ago, but in December and throughout the month of January, I got through the majority of this one that was being released, and I kind of was a part of it from the first episode release of it, like with watching it. It's from the channel Lot Duty Free, and it's called 7 First Kisses, and it is your typical K-drama, like web drama. It's so good, and I love it, and I'm just so conflicted because every single episode makes me so happy, but also so sad, and I didn't actually finish watching through it in January, even though everything has been released, because I just don't want it to end. You know those dramas that you watch and you love them so much, but you know that they're a limited thing? If, like, you know that it's only 1 season, or you know that it's been canceled and, like, this is the last season. Like, that's how I am with a lot of dramas. If I know that, like, it's getting closer to the end and I know that there's only 1 season, the feels, they get me. And I just can't rush through things because I know once I finish it that I'm not going to have new ones, but it doesn't stop me from watching it again because I love it so much. So I actually listened to a lot of music during the month of January. Actually, the beginning of February, I put together a January 2017 music playlist because I found that these were the songs that I was going back and listening to a lot, and it could be because of the actual dance routines, it could be because I actually love the songs, I love the lyrics, I love the beat, or I just in general love the aesthetic that is given from it, or it just makes me really happy listening to it. So So I'm not actually going to go into the music that I was listening to, but all of the music that I would be talking about right now, I have linked in that playlist, and I'll put it in the description box below. I do have it as an unlisted playlist, so please know that unfortunately it's not something that I've made public on my channel. You will have to come to this video to find it, and hey, you may find a new band, a new song, or you may find some old favorites that, you know, you used to listen to. Anyway guys, that is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, stay safe and have a wonderful day. Bye guys!